The Open University of Hong Kong recently held its Accounting and Finance Thematic Days. In the following seminar from this series, two guest speakers, Mr. Raymond Chan, Managing Director of 9F International Holdings, and Mr. Benjamin Wong, CEO and founder of Transwap, share their views on the impact of COVID-19 on accounting and finance professionals. They also share their insights on how the pandemic has accelerated digital transformation and the ways in which professionals in the field should adapt to these changes.
Hi, welcome everyone to join today to our thematic accounting and finance. It's our honor to have two guests here. My name is William Ho. I'm the senior lecturer in OpenU, and with my colleague Mabel, she's an assistant professor. With our honor to have our two guests here. First is Raymond Chan. Raymond is a managing director and general manager in the 9F International Holding. The 9F International Holding is a leading digital platform integrating and personalizing the financial service with 12-year experience in finance and technology. The group was founded in 2006 and provide a comprehensive range of financial product and service across online lending. And our second guest, Benjamin Wong. Benjamin Wong is the CEO of Transwap Corporation. The Transwap is a cross-border payment platform for business which allow users to seamlessly manage and execute payment globally while reducing FX costs and the complexity. So it's our honor to have our two guests here to discuss the impact of COVID-19 to our financial and accounting field. So today the focus will be in the finance in this session. So let's let Raymond to lead our discussion first.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, William, for the introduction. And maybe today I will talk more from the finance field because I come from the banking for the last 20 or nearly 30 years. So what the impact now to the financial field is that one of the theory is that it drives the digital transformation quicker and faster than normal what we expect for more than 2 or 3 years. One of the most evident examples in Hong Kong now is, I think many of you may have tried, is what we call the virtual banks. The 8 virtual banks that has commenced business. The latest one, which is in September. So we now have 8 virtual banks in Hong Kong. And together with the original, I think about more than 20 retail banks. More than 10 of them also offer what we call the remote account opening. So you may remember before that, all the customer can only open their accounts, the bank accounts, in the physical branches. They have to go to the physical branches for queuing and then to produce what we call an address proof and then to sign a wet signature as a proof. But with the remote account opening, we can all do it on a mobile phone. You just take a selfie, take a picture of your ID card, and then within minutes, you can open the account. And originally, we think that the adaptation of these kind of what we call a remote account opening or the digital banking maybe more slowly because for the last 10 to 20 years I've been working on that, and the growth rate is only a few percent every year. But now after the COVID-19, it shoot up. If you read in the news, a lot of traditional banks, they report that their digital banking adaptation shoot up to 20 or some to even 50 or 60% just in this year. And also for the 8 virtual banks, they should have started business for around 6 months for the very first one. But then they report that there are more than 300,000 new customers opening accounts with all the 8 banks. So it's a very good results already.
Wow, that's quite a lot.
Yes, that's quite a lot. So and I think the total deposit is more than 2 billion Hong Kong. They report
For virtual bank.
For virtual bank only. Yeah.
For up to current year, because I know that they just started from beginning, right?
Yes,
beginning this year.
they just start in March this year.
In March this year.
So it only takes 6 months to build up the volume to 300,000 customers and more than 2 billion Hong Kong dollar deposits. And that is unthinkable before the COVID-19. So of course there is a lot of negative influence to the economy, but for the digital side, what we call the digital economy or the digital transformation, it seems to be
a positive
impact to that.
Right.
It's pushing all the industry, all the banks, all the companies, they have to transform digitally. Banking is one example. Of course, another example is the securities brokers.
Security broker, yes.
Yes, you know that, of course, just given the recent, very popular, the largest IPO on earth.
Right, and Scoop. Unfortunately,
that's
another story.
but originally, it's a very good story that is the largest IPO on earth. And the largest online brokerage in Hong Kong, they claim that they have a lot of subscription. Yeah, there's a brilliant results. So that is also the positive effect of COVID-19, partly because people have more time to go with their mobile, and then one of the activities maybe
stay home, didn't do anything.
Yes,
checking the mobile phone every day.
Yes, because you have read all the Netflix, then what do? Okay, you start to invest and you look into the stocks and you start to earn money.
Yeah,
given the
investors start using mobile phone only.
Yes.
cannot imagine that 20 years ago.
No, of course not. Yeah, so the COVID-19 is we can call a catalyst for the digital transformation. Also, I read another news on the online shopping today.
Right.
Yeah, you know that Hong Kong TV Mall, previously they are reporting a loss, but starting this year they are doing very good. Ricky Wong, the CEO, said that they are expanding even beyond Hong Kong and into internationally. So you can see that for the online shopping, it is also booming, and even the I saw the news is that Jingdong, the China largest one, they said they are coming to Hong Kong.
Wow, really?
They are coming to Hong Kong because
they
saw the market is booming and full of opportunities there.
So next year everybody can join the November 11
sure.
Day, right?
Yeah. and we anticipate there's no way back. There's no return. There's no return. Once you adapt to the
non-reversible.
Yes. Once the customer adopt to digital way to doing things, they will not go back to the traditional way. So even in next year, there may be a vaccine, there may be some cure for the COVID, and people can open the door and go on the street before, and the world have changed. So maybe the physical bank branches, physical shops, they may not be as crowded or as many people as before. People has been adopted to the digital way of doing. And also the government, they are also helping on this way. Because I would like to cite one example is for the insurance authority in Hong Kong. Previously, you cannot close the insurance sales without seeing your customer.
Oh.
Yes,
okay.
But now
But how to define seeing? Can you define
face
seeing?
to face?
Face to face.
Meeting face to face. You have to meet your customer face to face.
Has to. Okay.
Yes, but after the COVID-19, because they have to allow some leeway for the insurance company and their agents to carry on with their business, so they start some sandbox to allow the insurance company. They can do what we call the non face-to-face interview via via the video phone or the Zoom,
Okay.
then close the deal. The agents on this side can explain and read the policy for the customer, and the customer on the other side, they will indicate they understand, they will accept terms, and then they will close the deal. Yes, this is also escalate after the COVID-19 because previously the insurance authorities.
But these
does
are
not allow
certainly these are all the positive. But certainly I will imagine whenever we have positive, we always have negative. Right?
Yes.
Then the positive is, for example, all the online stuff going on. But the side effect is, I mean, people obviously will think this is erosion of the real business, right? Face-to-face business. For example, the traditional face-to-face branch for a bank, maybe less and less people will visit that, right? So that means that's also the other side, right? Did you believe that, or did you have?
That's a true thing because, as you say, people are now less keen to go to the branch to visit, for example, their relationship manager or something like that, because
just do everything online. Right?
Yes, they do it online, or even when you make a call with your customer, it is less efficient and less likely you can easily close a deal. It is more much more easier when you face-to-face meet your customer, and then you can persuade them and ask them to, for example, to subscribe some products or buy something. But when you are on the phone or online, it is less persuasive. I can say that because the distance make the affinity of the between people is at a lower level, and that is very important for
closing a deal.
For closing a deal, for the sales, especially for those very human-oriented business.
Of course,
yes.
Of course. Certain stuff just cannot be replaced. Yeah, thank you for the quick brief introduction. So now let's let Benjamin sharing your experience in this field.
Thank you, William. Thank you for having me today. My name is Benjamin, the CEO of Transwap. Transop is a payment platform infrastructure like SWIFT, but with more settlement capability and AI and blockchain. As an accountant or a finance professional, what are the things that we should look into, right? First thing itself, it changes the way we do things. This is more internal. Everything has to be cloud-based, your documentation, your internal controls, your communication. How do you, as an accountant, how do you manage this? Because you will not be able to meet so often. And many has actually adopted it. Many has adopted digitalized. Many went to change from the manual accounting to cloud accounting. Actually, it's very simple to use. Second is external. How you communicate, how you change the way you do things to online. There are few things itself makes digital itself improve. Number one, last time no urgency, now no choice, right? Okay. Secondly, last time no trust, now they're beginning to trust. Money transfer is about integrity and trust.
That's
How
right.
can
Seriously.
I trust
yes.
you?
Can I trust that for $2 million you help me to put it there?
Bank, We recently sent $5 million US, one transaction or more. This comes to attitude. My grandmother itself put money under the
pillow,
or they will take a hole because they said they don't trust the bank. But now you ask people, there's no such thing. They don't trust the bank. Fortunately, itself, UK, Europe, they are success factor. Many new banks, transfer companies has become a unicorn, and many individual. No problem sending money through fintech company like us. Then come to businesses. Businesses picking off, starting to trust, and we can feel it. Their trust. Digitalization is necessary right now. You can't go to the bank, and there's a gap in the market. We survive because, or any disrupting technology or startup survive because there's a gap in the market. If there's no gap in the market, I wouldn't be here. There's no such business, But because of the gap to the market, incumbents itself did not address it well, and fintech came in. When we came in, fortunately, it's our consumer gain because the financial institution incumbent also start to notice that they need to give value to the service, not like last time, which is good. It's a competition environment. It is good for the consumer, for everyone.
So in fact, actually, COVID-19 actually accelerate all this stuff. Actually, in terms of development, in terms of the in terms of push out for this remote account opening, in terms of the electronic payment, it actually speed up this. Actually, I would say in a way.
Yes, I can say that for every innovation, we always said that for every innovation, it has to be accepted by the market first, also by the regulators or by the government, and also by the provider, the supplier. Everybody have to adapt to that. And the COVID-19 push forward this process.
Push forward this process.
Yes, because for the business, they have to change or digital transform. For example, I just have a project which is in Thailand. They are a very traditional jewelry shop. Very traditional.
Jewelry shop.
Okay. Yeah, they show their jewelries in physical shops. But of course, in this COVID-19 situation,
not many customers.
No customer.
No customer, probably.
So there's no way out. Otherwise,
so they have to transform online, I guess.
Yes. So they found us to build for them a e-commerce, a shopping mall, an online shopping mall.
Online shopping mall.
Yes,
for
to
jewelry.
push to put the jewelry on the online shelf. Yeah.
Online shelf.
Yeah. What's more, we build it using blockchain technology.
Blockchain technology.
Yes, so that we can issue the certificate.
Okay.
For the jewelry, because we believe that for a lot of the variables, jewelry is one of them. Blockchain is very useful to trace the origin and to authenticate it is a genuine or a fake one. So, so why we build shopping mall on blockchain is because we can do two things in one time. It's both the electronic certificate and also the online shopping mall. And then, what's more, we build what we call the loyalty program, the bonus point program. When you buy the jewelry shop, they give you some bonus so that you can use it to spend the next time.
Oh, okay.
A loyalty system.
Loyalty program. Yeah. Usually, it is very common for credit card or the banks. Have you imagined, should these points be interoperating between banks, shops, companies?
Wow.
That should be the way. Yeah.
That's a blockchain concept.
Yes.
That's a blockchain concept.
We just make the points as a coin, as a token.
Okay.
So it's
can be used for
can circulate.
Can be used for another different shop or different store like that.
Yes, and any other stakeholders who collaborate or go into the same ecosystem of the partner.
I hope my Cathay Pacific mileage can become like that. Also.
I think this will be the end game. Yeah, all the points or loyalty program, they will be what we call tokenized. In a very technical term, is tokenized. Tokenized, so that it's just like another currency. You can trade or convert to what we call the fiat currency, that's the Hong Kong dollar or the US dollar, or you can move it between the platforms. That's the ultimate idea we are also trying to promote. Trying to promote, yes, because it will be the benefit to the consumers. Because you can think of how many times you have lost your points because they have been expired, or you cannot redeem anything useful or meaningful to you. So it should be the way going forward to that.
So these are actually the push. Because of COVID-19, actually, and I assume they should already in that direction, but actually COVID-19 speed it up, accelerate that trend.
So one of the impact to go with today's topics is the impact to the professionals. Is that because today all the companies or government or even the market, they are going to the digital more quickly and quickly. So even for the professionals, because before that the professionals they can only be proficient in their own trade or their own skills. But nowadays, because everything becomes digital or online, so there is no way but to acquire also some what we call the technical skill. By technical skill is not learning how to program it, but have to learn how the things work. For example, the principles, the basic principles of blockchain or the AI, to appreciate them and to know how they are working. It is very important because in some countries or in some jurisdictions, they are now promoting what we call the responsible AI.
Responsible AI.
So you can imagine that if you are using more and more AI and they are making the decision, who is responsible for the decisions of the AI?
Right.
If the people in the company or the people working with the AI do not understand the AI, how they can explain the AI and responsible for the action or the decision of the AI.
Right.
So this is what the industry or some countries they are pushing forward. They are requiring that the companies, or for example, for financial institutes who are using the AI, they have to understand the AI, and the people there, what we call the responsible officer, they have to understand what the AI is doing, how they make the decision,
That's right. Yeah.
and be responsible for what the AI have done. Because ultimately, when they make the decision, for example, it's just a very simple example. There are more and more adoption of what we call the robo-advisory for the investment advisor.
Right.
So if the robo-advisor give an advice that make harm to the customer, and then they file a complaint.
Yeah.
Yes. Who will be responsible for that? And who will be responsible for looking at that and fixing that? If you do not understand the algorithms, what we call the algorithms, behind that. So, for example, for the AI robo-advisory, you have to have people which are proficient in both the investment advisory and also the technology side.
Right.
Yeah. So, what we are trying to argue that is that for the COVID-19, it accelerated the digital transformation, and it also escalated leads for the technical know-hows and the technology knowledge of even the professionals.
Right.
We cannot only be proficient in our own trades.
Right.
But do you have any suggestion then for our postgraduate student that's studying finance at the moment? They're acquiring the technical knowledge, but like you mentioned, they need to be on board with the new IT knowledge. Yeah. So what suggestion do you have for them to try and acquire some of these skills? Maybe outside of the university environment or something like that?
Yeah, of course, there's a lot of ways. Of course, one of the ways is to come back to OpenU, and I know there are fintech programs in OpenU offering, or also in other universities. And also, today I'm also another role of myself is the chairman of AI committee of IFTA.
Okay.
The Institutes of Financial Technologies of Asia.
Right.
Yes, and we run a program called the CFT. It is a self-learning qualifications. So those people who would like to learn, really want to learn more on the fintech technology or on the fin side of the fintech, they should study this program and to take the examination and get the qualifications, because there's already many companies in Hong Kong, they recognize this qualification or credentials.
It's a newly developed credential, is that?
Yes, there's a quite new, I think this is 2 or 3 years old.
2 or 3 years old.
Yes,
okay.
and it is a worldwide recognized credential.
It's called
CFT.
CFT, okay.
Yes, it's the
Certified
Financial Technologist.
Technologist. Right.
So for those of the participants who are interested to sharpen their skills or know-how in technology side, I strongly recommend them either to come to school again or to do some self-study and acquire some credentials or qualifications.
Right.
Also, last but not the least, you can find some companies who are assertive enough. They are doing the digital transformation. And I always believe you can learn from your work.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Right. Very interesting. Very interesting feedback. I mean, these are definitely will be very useful for our student. Student. So Benjamin, from your perspective, you are in this wire transfer. This seems to be a little bit, I would say, more toward the traditional money transfer. From your perspective, how do you see this? Connected?
I think
do you have a plan to connect it to this newly developed fintech from your business, and especially under the situation of COVID?
I think
COVID-19?
for us itself.
Right.
I think the mindset, I think the student now, I think they are quite well prepared. I believe with this COVID, they are all prepared. They know what is fintech. They know what is digitalization. Now is the experience. When they go out, the experience, the attitude and the experience. Many younger people have no problem working from home. Company, traditional company has to now change, because traditional company, they like to see people around.
Yes.
True. The manager like to see the staff.
However,
these
are mindset things.
It's a mindset thing you change.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the younger one, they don't need. They are quite.
They're quite used to. Quite used to communicate through WhatsApp.
With the
LinkedIn,
boss, with the superior.
Like
it's whether the traditional boss believe.
Yeah.
Are they working 8 hours a day? Right? But nowadays, it's not working 8 hours a day. It's about efficiency, the KPI.
What actually being produced out.
It's like you study 24 hours a day, you fail.
Exactly.
But you study 4 hours, you pass. It's not the hours you put in. So the measurement, KPI all change. I think the attitude, behavior all change. I think the old traditional manager also must change. It's not so easy to change, because if you used to see your staff come in, your staff didn't come in, where they go.
I think even in Hong Kong, we're not as locked down as they are overseas. I know, for example, in Canada, many of the new accounting intake this year have not been in the office at all. They've been sent to a laptop and just training from home and working from home, for the last 6 months, I guess, since they started. So so definitely overseas, it's I think it's even more accepted.
Yes,
while in Hong Kong we've done work from home for a bit, come back to the office for a bit. We've been more fluid in our movement.
We have 6 offices around the world. So very few people go to work.
Yes.
They all
in the UK or in Canada.
But a traditional one, I like to go to office.
We're just showing our generation.
But the staff here, we have a big space in some of the offices. Very seldom people go. The only thing what happened is that you spend increasingly amount of time on the Zoom, on the Teams.
Right. More and more like a virtual meeting, almost, right? Every day virtual meeting.
Yes, so the HR has to change, of course, how to measure and all this other thing.
Right. Wow, very interesting. This, so this COVID is a game changer I think for lots of stuff, and certainly is the driving force. I can see that driving force for many. Especially digital technology, digital economy, digital technology, and for people to get familiar with all the system, with people who previously probably lazy, saying, I don't have to do anything with that, but now they are all forced to do that.
Yes.
Not just the people, but also the corporation also, and bring the corporation actually ahead in terms of the technology setup, in terms of the new future. They have to all anticipate that, especially you mentioned before the 3 hologram in terms of the hologram meeting. Probably next year we have a hologram meeting here.
That is part of what we call the virtual reality.
Virtual reality.
That is also a very important application of the 5G. So last day I saw in China they are starting to do remote mining. So the
mining.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the miner, they just sit in the office and they controlling the mining machines down underground, for
100 meters down the ground.
Yes, and then they do that, and the miners they say
That is great.
It's a great improvement
Yes.
of the working environment,
That's
because previously they are doing all the works underground,
Yes.
very lonely.
Too many
And
accidents
dangerous,
before.
yeah.
Too many
Yes,
accidents.
and now they can do it just in a very comfortable, cozy office, and then to remote control the mining machines underground.
Wow.
So
That's
these are
seriously-
all made possible by the
Yeah.
5G
Wow.
technology.
Even the other day I heard the news. They already started testing for 6G.
Wow.
Yes,
They did.
yes.
China they shoot out
Yes.
a satellite.
Yes.
Just last week, last week or two weeks ago, they shoot out the 6G
Because-
testing. One of the
Yes.
top of the world,
Because,
leading that. China is leading that.
In the industry, we say that every generation, every G is talking about 10 years. You can remember that the 4G is
Right.
start in 2010.
True. Yes.
And the 3G is in a millennium.
That's right,
So
that's right.
It is one generation every year. So they are starting working on what we call the concept paper or the white paper earlier on the 6G.
the white paper. Yeah.
What's
For
the 6G is a branding of what we call the ground network and the sky network. So it's a mixture of the satellite and the ground station. So they say that at the extreme, you can get the connection very far away outside in the oceans or in the desert. You can still get the connection. So that is
Wow.
there's also one thing what Elon Musk is doing. He's setting up the Skynet.
SpaceX.
Yes.
Oh,
They are-
okay.
he is putting a lot of commercial satellites
Right,
in the sky and to form the satellite, what they call the satellite internet. So this is the coming of the 6G.
Right.
So we also have to think how to adopt this kind of, for
It's not
example,
too far,
communication technology.
Right now it's 2020, right? We have 5G.
Yes.
Another 10 years, 6G, right? So it's
It's
not too far
6G.
away, actually.
Yes.
It's not too far
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Right.
So you will connect everywhere.
Right. We talk about so many positive side for this COVID-19. In fact, actually, starting from beginning to up to now. But I guess, I mean, and on the other perspective, I think, as I mentioned, everything has a positive, has a negative. And for the risks for the COVID-19, the negative side bring it to us. There are, for revenue drop down for so many potential job loss, stuff like that. Specific finance perspective, what do you think? What kind of suggestion you can imagine, or you can propose for those who have potentially been impacted? What do you feel? I mean, what do you can give them suggestion?
You can observe recently that usually the kind of job that is being laid off usually are those which depends a lot on the face-to-face contact.
Right.
So if you are talking about in financial field, what are those jobs? One we can think of is, for example, for the bank is the teller.
The branch.
Right.
The teller,
Right.
branch
Right.
tellers,
Branch teller,
or the
right.
or the meter greeters in the branches.
Right.
For example, for the securities field, those are the traditional securities broker that has the highest risk.
Right.
So my suggestion is still again to equip yourself with
Right.
more up-to-date techniques or technologies techniques. To one extreme, I have heard someone saying that today you should not learn one more human language. You should learn one more machine language.
Machine language.
That is, for example, what is very hot is Python, because they say that for some of the large corp or large company, they even ask, do you know Python? Not under the category of computer knowledge, but under the category of language.
Really?
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Whether you can speak that language, because yes, you can argue that because for example, Python is very natural.
What's that?
Python.
Python.
Python,
Okay.
yes.
It's a programming.
It's a programming language.
It's a programming
Yes,
language.
but it is more like human languages. Yeah.
It's similar to is that similar to like C++ before? Like,
it is more what we call the more
virtual,
high level.
Virtual,
more high level.
Okay,
Yeah,
more high
yeah.
level. Okay.
More high level because it is less machine readable, but more
Okay.
human readable.
Oh, okay.
I can say that.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
So my point is have to equip yourself because this is inevitable trend in the world.
Right.
We all remember that previously in a company there are typists, but now typists are gone because everybody they
Everybody
do the
do their own typing for their own
by
computer.
themselves.
Yeah,
Yes.
who need a typer, right?
Yeah, for example, the receptionist.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we are now more and more working from home. So what's the point of
What's the point of
receptionist?
receptionist?
Yes.
True.
But even though there's a lot of jobs losing, but there's a new kind of jobs that are happening.
Yes, that's
For
true.
example,
That's
some is called the what we call the AI trainer. This is how to train the AI. The data scientists, which we also list a lot, or the blockchain architect.
Right, blockchain architect. Yes.
All these things. So whenever there are old jobs disappear, there are more new jobs appearing. Right. So I'm more on the optimistic way, but of course the negative impact of the COVID is a lot of people, if they do not have acquired new skills or new knowledges, they are having a very high risk to be laid off or even ill-treated. Yeah. There's the sad thing.
Yeah, that's the sad
I guess
thing.
it's a bit of a lag time until this group build their skill level up to what the society requires.
Yes, this will happen, but just say that COVID-19 also accelerate this trend.
Right, true.
Yeah, but I think for those affected have no ability, so how to manage this? I think it's a world problem, a country's problem.
Yeah.
COVID itself is disrupted because suddenly everything stopped, right? For those who have ability to build windmill, please go ahead. But some really don't have.
It's true.
What should we do, right?
Yeah.
Have to build shelter. Also cannot build shelter, right? Because don't have ability at all. So in this space itself, major government actually came to help. Try to reduce the pain.
Reduce the impact. Subsidy,
survive.
government subsidy.
And generally itself, those affected in the industry definitely out of job, right? Airlines, pilot, all out of job. So they need to do something, right? Whatever they can do. Some need to change profession, change into more disruptive. Well, actually, it's growing number of job available on the technology side.
True. I think technology definitely is
In
the one
fact,
actually expanding.
Sometimes difficult to find the technology people.
Yeah.
Right? There is a demand more than the more than the supply because it has not spin up.
Yes.
Many in the university itself are taking it, but they have not came out to have the experience yet. On the traditional or the open, they don't have.
Right.
So the demand for good coder with many skills.
Programmer, you mean?
Python, Ruby's Unreal. Actually, it's very high, very expensive. We pay good money. In fact, for developer, the good one especially, they got market rate. They say, I want this, right? If you don't pay them, they can go to Google. They can go to
go to Microsoft, go to Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. So no choice, right? But those without ability one, government helps is important, but they themselves also have to help themselves.
Right.
By changing, last time you may be the PMEP, the managers on the 40-50 hit the most. It's
true.
Because 40-50 itself, you have responsibility. Your house may be on mortgage, your children education.
You have children.
Last time you earn 100,000.
Yeah.
After this, you cannot. You got to change you got to learn, relearn, and you got to. And when you go out, your salary will not be at this scale anymore. It's gone already.
It's gone
Yes.
already. Yeah.
Maybe the younger coder will earn more than you already.
Potential. That's true.
Yeah.
They learn the latest language.
Yeah, because they are 40-50.
Right.
Very difficult to learn language at this computer language at this age. So they got to become relevant. but with their experience itself on the strategic business side, maybe will
Maybe
be
they
much
can
more
still-
better
Yes,
by
ab-
using the experience.
Yes.
Then maybe slowly they will get back
Yeah.
their pay skill and all
Right.
this.
So
But everybody have to come together to
right.
support
So
one
still,
another.
I mean, I'm just trying to say, I mean, still lots of people suffer. Right?
Of course.
Right.
Yeah, especially like, for example, once the COVID start, major government say, hey, banks do not bankrupt them.
Right.
You know, help
Right.
them to give loan. Government say, I guarantee this loan, right? But these are temporarily, you know.
Of course, yeah. Cannot down for too long.
Because let's say I guarantee loan and all this out there, it doesn't mean this loan will be waived. You still have to pay back, you know.
Yes.
Still, of course, yes. Yes.
You still have to pay back, right?
Right.
So in this case itself, when your business is not going to be flourish tomorrow, you know, you take time. Some may not even flourish. If let's say majority of the loan given out itself because they want to help the industry, the people, government support. If you go over to the next year, how about all these loans become bad? It will be catastrophic to the industry, the finance industry, if all loans have to be write off,
Yeah.
right?
True,
And of course, again, the big brothers, the government,
And they
will
put
step
more
forward
money.
and
Yeah.
say, hey, why don't we work out something, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
When the time due, can you just extend it? Of course, there are some ideas many ideas people how to recycle to loan. All these are financial engineering.
Right. So the
things.
authority actually play a big role here in terms of helping people. Actually, I think.
Yes.
I mean, they are limited what we can do in terms of private corporation. Private corporations still need to survive, right? I mean, is a manager, is the owner of the company. They don't certainly they will not lay off people if they don't have to, right? I mean, unfortunately, if the situation doesn't turn well, they don't have enough revenue, you cannot ask them to continue to hire so many. Otherwise, they will bankrupt themselves.
Yeah.
So I mean, as Benjamin mentioned, I think the government play a big role in this critical time.
Yes.
I mean, helping at least let people to have a moment to take a break, take a breeze, right before drowning themselves. Before drowning themselves, probably they can try to change a career, try to learn something, and let them to have the fighting spirit continue, and let them know everybody is trying to help them. I mean, that's the message. I think. That's
I think it's like giving away. Don't worry. Continue to survive, to be resilient.
Right.
As long as you do that, you will cross over.
Right. I think.
Just don't give up.
Yeah. All right. So thank you very much
you.
for
Thank
your
you.
two today, and it's about
Thank
time.
you very much.
and,
Yeah,
we
I've
are-
learned a lot.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
The
I learned a lot.
students.
Thank you for your sharing.
pleasure.
Our
Our
pleasure sharing.